Welcome, Debbie Urban here from Stock Development, and we're proud to be sponsoring today's international session with Maria Grulich. Maria Grulich serves as Director of Global Business for the Florida Association of Realtors, overseeing and developing global initiatives and programs for Florida, advising and supporting Realtor members and association board staff on global matters and markets at the local, state, and federal levels, strengthening relationships and cooperation with international organizations. She manages activities such as international expos, conferences, trade missions, as well as serving as the team liaison to the National Association of Realtors. Maria is the Florida Realtors liaison to the Global Business Committee and Diversity Committee. Maria is a multilingual Cuban American and resides in Celebration, Florida with her 2 young daughters. She is a graduate of the University of South Florida. Please welcome Maria Grulich.
Good morning, Realtors of Sarasota and Manatee. I am so excited to be here with you. And I would be remiss if I also didn't say buenos dias, because I saw in the chat that a good friend, Carla, said good morning. So good morning to all of you. We're going to spend a little bit of time here today to discuss global and international efforts. And I've got some notes here to the side. I want to make sure I have some fresh material for you today, because what we want is for you to be successful and international. And the more we can provide you, the more tools, the more opportunities you have to build referrals, friendships, and sell more properties. So I'm going to start with what I normally start with and mention, and that is the 2022 profile of international residential transactions in Florida. This document can be found on our website, and it is full of information. And I'm going to go over it a little bit with you, just a few key bullets to make sure that you understand that you can go and get this, and this is going to help you with your marketing plan. Also note, very soon, we will have the 2021 version of this document. So this is a working living document, comes out every year. It's a joint effort between our economist and also NAR that brings this forth every year. So I wanted to make you aware that we will be having a new one. And I do think that there will be a couple of changes or tweaks, and I'll go over that as well. So the first thing I want to mention is that $15.6 billion worth of existing homes in Florida were purchased by international market. So that's very, very important. Most pay cash. Over 33,000 existing homes were purchased. And then I want to talk a little bit about, for you, who the Florida market is. And then we're going to get into who the market is in your area. And then I'm going to give you some tips that I hope will help you even further expand your own personal marketing plan and your own goals so that you can succeed even more. So for Florida, our key markets are Canada, Brazil, Argentina, Venezuela, and Colombia. Okay, so keep that in mind. This is part of why you see that we did so much this year with CELA, the Confederation of Latin American Associations. We want to keep that connection strong with Latin America because we know those markets are key to our members. So that's part of the reason why we build these relationships and keep that going. And I'll bring a little bit more about that in not too long, but just remember Canada, Brazil, Argentina, Venezuela, and Colombia are the key markets for Florida. Now, if we drill down and we say, okay, those are the markets for Florida, what are the markets for the Sarasota area? Well, I will tell you that the markets for the Sarasota area and the Manatee area include, just a moment, got all my stuff confused here, include Canada. So remember, Canada is the #1 marketplace for Florida. Canada is the #1 marketplace for the Manatee Sarasota area. So that's a match. The United Kingdom is your second most prominent market. Your third most prominent market is Chile. Your fourth is the Czech Republic. And please note that I know that the Czech Republic also has key markets in the Pinellas area and some other areas. So when you hear these markets, I also want you to notice who is around you, what associations, what communities, that you also need to look at their markets so that you can see not only what your primary markets are, but also what your neighboring markets are. France is your final market, or not final, but if you want to round out the top 5, those are your 5. So Canada, United Kingdom, Chile, Czech Republic, and France. So for your area, that is what we see the largest amount of buyers. The number 1 overall is Canada, and your numbers are strong in Canada. You have over 26% from Canada. So the rest kind of drill down a little bit. So keep that in mind as well. I think that's important for you to look at that study and say, you know what, I need to look at this. And how does this tie in to what I'm trying to do for my marketing plan, for what I have in mind for the future of my business? So we've got that. We've got the basis. We know what countries. And if you look at the top 2, also, I want to mention those are English speaking countries. So that makes it a little easier. If you speak Spanish, that makes it even more beautiful. And one of the things that we've been striving and promoting to our members, that's also a great tool for you, is to learn to use that chat in when you participate in Zooms and in workshops. Use that chat to your best ability. If you speak Spanish and we have a trade mission with Mexico or Spain or whoever it may be, then write in Spanish and in English in that chat and connect and say, hey, I'm from this amazing area and I want you to get to know our area better. Let's connect. Let's build that referral. So do it in Spanish, do it in English, Portuguese, whatever languages you have. Take advantage of that when you're in the chats. Don't just say, oh, great program. This is fabulous. I'm having a great time. But try to connect with others while you're participating in those types of things. The other thing that I want to emphasize is if you're new to global, which is great, don't feel like you're behind or whatever. Global has become really a great source, especially since COVID, because our reach is further when we do Zooms. Think about it. We're doing everything electronically right now. So what better way to connect than via Zoom? That's why we do so much trade missions and events and workshops and phone calls and emails, all being done electronically. So that global marketplace is expanding. They really, really want to connect with us. So it is important for you to be ready to connect. So the first thing you do, go find that profile I mentioned on the website, and don't worry, I will make that information available to your association. If you have any problems finding the link, you can email me or your association to find it. Number 2, I would say, is learn the culture. If you're going to work and are thrilled about, okay, I really, really want to work, I'm going to make it up. I really, really want to work China, for instance, even though it's not your top market, or maybe you want to work the UK or Canada or Chile that I mentioned. Do a little homework, because what happens is not all countries are alike. Not all Latin American countries are alike. And what may be very, very well thought of in one country may not be well thought of in another country. And I'm going to use my China example. It's not in your list, but just random country that I wanted to pick, and that's China. China has an unlucky number. They're very superstitious, and one of their unlucky numbers is 4. So if you know that the unlucky number for China is 4, you are not going to go and find a house whose address is 444 or 440 or whatever, because you're wasting your time. They are not going to purchase that home. They're going to be like, oh, she did not do her homework, or he did not do their homework and did not realize that this is kind of insulting to us. So you do a little bit of that homework and you say, oh, I need to eliminate this house. Beautiful home, but not the right home for my buyer or purchaser. And then 7 is a very lucky number. So maybe you find a house that's, 777 or 707, whatever it might be. Well, guess what? And it's a match. You want to show that house because that's a lucky number. And please, as I mentioned, do not get your countries confused. We have a lot of confusion between China and Japan. their day and night, their culture, the way you dress. Japanese are very more conservative and not a lot of color in their attire. So you really need to pay attention to that. Same with, as I mentioned, that Chile is one of your markets and the UK, et cetera. Don't think, oh, Chile is part of Latin America. They're all the same. We all have the same. We're not. And we have a lot of commonalities, and you speaking Spanish, or you even making an effort to say hello. If you learn one word and you just learn hola, and they'll love that, because they will say, you know what, they're making an effort. They're trying to learn about our culture. They want to learn, what we do. And maybe it's food. Maybe you love their food, and that's something that you have in common. So think about those little things. The other thing you can do, and I push this all the time, and I know that our friends here that are listening, a lot of you have her books already or have participated in our free workshops. We've had 2 this year with Terry Morrison, and she wrote Kiss, Bow, and Shake Hands. I encourage you to get those books, even if you go to the library, or borrow them or purchase them for yourself for your library. They're amazing. They're great reference tools to look at and learn a little bit about any country that you have an interest in. That's really, really important for you to take advantage of that. I also want to mention that our April issue of the Florida Realtor magazine is dedicated solely to global. That can be found on our website. So you can go on our website, you can find the 2021 issue, 2020 issue, and keep going back. Why am I bringing this up to you? Because it's a resource. From that magazine, you're going to pick up things like who's working what markets, what websites are they using, what tools are they using. Great opportunity to glance at that and see how you could benefit from what others are doing and what resources are out there for you. The other thing that I want to mention to you about the magazine, that comes out in April, Florida Realtors, every April. We start working on that in January. So for instance, if you have a key international market that you focus on, please send me an email. Please wait till closer to January, because I'm swamped right now, but it's January is when I start working on it. I pulled together a list for our writers and our editors that say, you know what, this person works this market. This person works Canada. This person works the UK. This person works, Panama or Bahamas or whatever it might be, so that they have an idea who our local experts are in these countries or are doing business with these countries. Why is that important? Because I want to get you featured. I want people to know out there that you have a specialty, that you're working these markets, and we want to learn about you. We don't want to have the same people every time. So I like to open it up to new opportunities for many to participate. So jot down a little note. Hey, I need to reach out in an email to Maria and say, hey, Maria, this is the market that I focus on. If you need me to speak with your writers, let me know. What I do is I give them a list with your email and your name, then they decide who they want to speak to. But I do a little blurb that says, this is the market they're interested in, this is what they focus in, etc. So please make sure to send that, because I want to get more people from your association involved and featured in that April issue. And again, next year, we hope to have a Zoom featuring that magazine and bringing in our international partners to share the premiere of that magazine with us. So magazine. The next is, I want you to look at niches. And what I mean by that is, are you a member, and maybe not a member, but do you participate? Because you can participate and not have to be a member of the Asian Realtors, the Hispanic Realtors, our Realists, FIAPSI, LGBTQ, all of these fabulous groups, veterans groups, senior groups, things that bring together others that are doing real estate associated things, but maybe it's a smaller group. You need to look at the activities. I have a list, by the way, if anyone needs it, of the chapters throughout Florida. And what I would recommend is not only looking at the chapter that's in your neighborhood. For instance, I know you have a very thriving Hispanic Association in Sarasota. They've done an amazing job to build that. But what I would do is also look at what maybe an association close by is doing. Do they have a very nice event coming up, a Zoom, a workshop, something that you can participate in and connect with additional people? So this is a great way to learn about those markets. Maybe you connect with people that are in those markets that speak Spanish, or or doing business with Asia, or whoever it might be. It's expanding your connection, expanding your scope of networking so that you have more opportunities to build more business. And what I always say is, don't just join. Just because I said these groups, I'm not saying, hey, go out and spend $100 on this or 100. What I'm saying is check them out. All of these groups have opportunities for you to participate in for free. For instance, FIAPSI, and I know that Carla's on here, and she's also a FIAPSI member, and so am I. We recently hosted an event where we invite members. Hey, join us for this event virtually. Or if it's in person, you can join us in person. ARIA, the same. So please participate in these things. And thank you, Carla, for posting the report, the research report on the chat. So these are things that you can take advantage of that will work for you. Okay, I'm now going to go and travel to Facebook real quick, because I will tell you, Facebook is a huge, huge tool for the international marketplace. I have gazillion friends that are from all over the world, and they love Facebook. They absolutely love Facebook. They love Facebook more than other social media platforms. So you need to have a presence on there, even if it's minimal, but not only to connect with having friends on Facebook. So you build that network, like I said, so that you have more people from other countries connecting with you, but also NAR has a CIPS website that you can be a member of if you're a CIPS. There's also a lot of private other groups. For instance, there's a At Home with Diversity group on Facebook that you can get involved in. There is I'm going to tell you about a group that I joined. There's a couple that you'll probably find funny, and you can find your own. I'm not saying you have to go with these. I'm just saying go on there and find some that you find interesting, that you think you can make good connections. So I'm a member of A View from My Window. I love that one. And that all that is people post a picture of what they can see from their window. It could be their work, from their work. It could be their home, wherever. And it's from all over the world. And you will be shocked at how many connections you can make from a view from your window. I have made some amazing friends from all over the world just by connecting with them and saying, wow, your view is amazing. Would love to stay in touch with you. Here's my view, or hey, let's connect. And I want to learn more about your country or more about the area that you live in or work in. So that, again, free tool, Facebook, go on there, A View from Your Window. The other one that I like that you're going to find funny is Flamingoholics, because Florida flamingos are ready to mingle at all times. So I joined that because these are people from all over that love flamingos for some reason. It could be a lamp, it could be a bedspread, it could be whatever. So I've kind of connected on that, because what I want to do is not only share that I too like flamingos, but the love of Florida. Because when you think of flamingos, you think of Florida. So I connected there as well, because I thought, you know what, this might be a fun way to connect with others all over the country or internationally that have a thing for flamingos. So there you go on that one. And then there's a lot of travel groups that are all about people that love to travel and explore new locations. Why am I bringing this up? I'm bringing this up because a lot of these travel groups, they'll say, hey, I'm thinking about going to Florida. And I've seen this over and over. I'm thinking of going to Florida. What part of Florida should I go? I've never been, or I'm thinking of going to Florida or California, or I'm thinking of going to this place or that place. Or can you share some photos of your area? So think about all those travel groups, maybe do a little Google on Facebook, a little search, and find those groups. And by the way, you do not have to be techie. I am the least techie person. In fact, you'd laugh. I am not good at anything technical at all. So it's real easy. You can just do a search and find some of these interesting groups to participate in. It could be that you have a love for cooking And you can go on there and find cooking people that love to cook from different countries and share with them recipes, or share with them, you know, what you're doing in your area and what they're doing in theirs. And I saw that Carla also posted the ARIA website. That's fantastic. By the way, they also are located on Facebook. And one of the things that CIPS and ARIA and many of these groups do is members will say, hey, I have a client. They're looking at Florida. Who is from Florida that can help me with these clients? And then you post on there and they connect back with whomever they like. So again, free, fantastic way to connect and keep building that relationship with others. Also, you need to have a global team at your fingertips. You need to have this team set up before, I always say before if you can, before you start your journey for global, because your client needs to see you as a resource for everything. You are there for them 24/7. If they need an international tax accountant, you've got somebody ready to go. And you can say, hey, here's a tax accountant, international. And please note, I say international. I have a fabulous accountant. He's not international. So he would not be someone I would recommend to put on that list. It needs to be someone that understands the international accounting practices so they can help you with your client and they can make the best decisions. Also a visa attorney, someone that can help them. They may need specific, you know, information or have specific needs. There's lots of different attorneys that I would recommend you connect with, a real estate attorney, just as friends. And what does this do? This builds your referral network. Why? Because they, not only are you referring them to them, they can refer business to you because they're going to be, oh my goodness, she just referred me a client, or he just referred me a client. I need to refer them people too, because this is business. We're connecting. So there's all kinds of referrals, not just realtor to realtor, but there's realtor to other businesses. So keep that in mind. Also colleges and universities. And I always bring this up because even if you have small colleges or, you know, a university close by, check and see what type of international outreach they do. Many have students from all over the world. And guess what? A lot of these colleges and a lot of these universities, do not handle housing. I can tell you that. I know of some that do not handle housing, even here locally. I sit on the board of Valencia and they handle no housing. So those coming from other countries have to find ways of where their child or they themselves will live. And the reason I say child is a lot of times in other countries, they want to send their, you know, kids here or, you know, adults here to learn and to study, but they do not really like the dorms room situation. That is a little bit foreign to them. So what they do is they want to buy a house, they want to buy a townhouse, they want to buy a condo, something where their child that's going to be studying can live, but also maybe another friend that's coming to study with them. And then thirdly, a lot of them want a room just for them for when they come to visit, and they will purchase this, and this helps the child. So the more connections you have with those universities and colleges and say, hey, can I come speak and give a little update on a certain country, or can I participate in one of their clubs? Maybe they have a Canadian club, or maybe they have a, you know, clubs from Chile or China or whatever. And I have seen this happen. I actually participated a couple of years ago at the University of South Florida with their Asian club. And the kids were so excited. They had like a family night, and it was to celebrate, you know, Chinese New Year. And we were invited to come and sit at the tables with them. And in return, what we did is we provided a snack tray, like a deli tray from Publix, because these are clubs that don't have a lot of money. So you can also say, hey, can I sponsor? And you end up paying $30, $40, $50 for a sponsorship, and you get to have a few minutes during that time. So don't forget about that. And also keep in mind that the young love Starbucks. So do the old, by the way. I have mine right here, but they love their Starbucks. And one of the key things too that you can do is buy a couple of Starbucks cards if you're going to go participate and do something fun with these students, whether it's at, you know, a presentation or an event and either pull out of a hat or put underneath a chair 1 or 2 of these Starbucks gift cards or pizza cards, whatever you want. Oh my goodness, you will be the biggest hit ever, because kids love food and they love their Starbucks too. So wanted to make sure that you knew that as well. But definitely check those international clubs at those schools, but also check with the school and see what programs they have and what outreaches and where maybe you can fit in to help them as well. I also always mention the international baccalaureate programs that are at the high schools. These are free. These are very, very high-end programs for students that excel, and they're international in scope. So if I was living in Canada and my daughter was in the IB, had been accepted to the IB program in Canada, and we were moving to Sarasota, I would want to know, is there an IB program in the neighborhood that I'm moving to, or in Sarasota where I could drive her to? Why? Because this is an international program. So the curriculum is very similar, whether I'm in Canada or whether I'm in Sarasota. And what a hero you're going to be if you know already that this program exists, and they can then find out further how they can have their child transferred into this program. So that's very, very important. It's a free program. These students that go through this program, most of them receive scholarships to colleges. This is a huge, huge thing. So keep that in mind. And your international clients, I'm telling you, they know the IB program. In fact, more international people know about the IB program than us here, probably in Florida or in any other state for that matter. Also, and I always mention it too, even though it's not one of your key markets, but look at where your Chinese schools are. These are Saturday schools that are special, and there may be other schools. There may be schools that are teaching English as a second language. You'll want to know about that. Or the Chinese school, that's an extra day built in on Saturday for Chinese students or Asian students to come and learn about their culture, learn how to write and read in their culture. And they go to this school and they get a little certificate at the end of the year saying, I just completed my, first grade or whatever it is. So this is important to know too, another little tool. And there might be some other programs from other countries that you will want to know, you want to connect your clients to. It could be the, Latin club or whatever that may be. The other group that I also tell everyone is to please make sure and connect to your visitor and convention bureaus, because they have maps. They're a resource. Visitors that come to our state 2.5 times, then they buy. The key is 2 to 2.5 times they come to visit. After they visit, they want to purchase. They're like, oh my gosh, this is an amazing area. Why am I not living here, buying a vacation home or moving here? So keep that in mind. So use them as a resource. The other group is the Economic Development Department, your local one. And that's important because say they're working with a client and they work with manufacturing, corporate headquarters, and distribution companies. They are trying to bring these companies to come to the Sarasota, Northport, and my mind's gone blank, but anyway, area, coming to your area. So, but they do not work in the residential side. Okay. So what you want to do is you want to get to know them. You want to try and find out, how can I be a resource? If you have people coming, your association could be a resource for that residential part. So that if they have people that are looking for homes, it's the CEO, it's the manager, it's the distribution leader, they can then maybe connect you or your association and say, hey, can you help us? Provide us with information on the area. Provide us with housing information. So this is huge. What people don't understand is the state and your local economic development groups handle the manufacturing, distribution, et cetera, but they do not handle the residential. That's not something in their line of thought. So the other group, of course, is we work with the state. We work with Enterprise Florida, and we also sit on the board of the Florida Economic Development Council, connecting with your local association economic development groups. So what we're trying to do is build that relationship between Florida Realtors, Enterprise Florida, and your local economic development groups to tie back to you. A great example of this is the C5 Summit coming up in New York. We are having Enterprise Florida, and the Secretary of Commerce is coming with us to that. We also have a couple of local economic development groups that are participating, and someone that I haven't mentioned yet, Florida Power and Light. Look at your electric provider. What tools do they have that could be resources for you? I know for a fact that Florida Power and Light has a database where you can put in any buildings you have. Say it's a manufacturing building, a distribution building, some type of commercial building. You can for free put that in their database so that when they're looking and helping economic development professionals from your area or Enterprise Florida, and your local provider may be working together, they provide that list. So look and see if your local provider has those tools, that database. And Florida Power and Light does have it. So you could go on that site too and put that building. You don't have to be a Florida Power and Light user. They're just keeping a database of buildings so that that draws more people wanting to make investments in Florida. So I wanted to bring that up. The other is we have been doing and will continue to do inbound and outbound trade missions. This is important. We do these for free. Jump in, connect on that chat, and learn about the markets, see who the key players are that are speaking, and connect. Don't be shy. We're going to continue that into the future. This year we did the Zooms simultaneously, some of them in Spanish and Portuguese, and we'll be expanding that into next year, doing more programming in different languages to better serve you if you speak a foreign language, but also to connect you to the markets. Because if Brazil knows that it's going to be in Portuguese, Portugal knows, or Mexico or Spain that it's going to be in Spanish, or Chile, they're going to jump on the Zoom and listen. They want to participate, but maybe they feel a little uncomfortable about their level of English. Well, that's okay. We're going to translate these Zooms and make that available for them. We did that too this year with the What's Cooking in Canada, and we're going to do more of that. We are the NAR ambassador, Florida Realtors is, to Germany. And I know that you are also, your association is a global ambassador. It's important to keep in mind that others in Florida have those relationships. It may be you want to do something jointly with them. It may be that you want to host an inbound, outbound, either with us or with them or whoever. Those are opportunities. Also, NAR has global ambassadors. And what are those? What those are people that have been selected to serve as a key contact for a certain country. So you would look at the list and you would say, oh, Gonzalo is Peru and Ecuador. So if I am going to go to Peru or Ecuador, or I want to get to know more about that, I'm going to look that up and I'm going to connect with Gonzalo. So those are the kind of things that you want to look at because it's resources right here. And Florida has several. I believe we have 7 that are in Florida that are in our NAR ambassadors, but you don't have to look at just Florida. They could be in New York and California, wherever, it doesn't matter. They're here to serve you as a member and help you understand those markets. So I would suggest you connect and see what you can find out. Also wanted to mention that TECO, one of the electric providers, besides being a resource, because I already mentioned Florida Power and Light, but I wanted to mention TECO because I know they're in the Tampa area too, is they're Canadian owned. So they have ties to Canada as well. And your ports are important because if you find out who are the key purchasers or who they have their key contracts with, that's important. For instance, I know the Port of Tampa, one of their top markets, it's Mexico. So what a great place to connect and say, hey, I want to know more. How can we help you? How can we connect? Is there anything that we can do? Airports, the same. Who are their top direct flights and what flights are coming in? Maybe they're not direct, but they're pretty close. You want to keep an eye on those changes because that could add to new markets for you. And I think that's very, very important. People want to be able to go back home and visit, especially if it's a vacation home that they're buying. So those direct flights are key for them to feel comfortable that they can go back home or bring people over that maybe are visiting. So please keep that in mind. I mentioned SELA before, and that is the Confederation of Latin American Real Estate. We have a partnership with them, and that's very, very important for us. We're the only state in the entire country that has a relationship and is a partner with SELA. SELA has 19 different countries that make their association up. They have over 1 million members. So that is someone we want to continue to do inbounds, outbounds, connect with, connect you to. They also have every year they have a conference. And this year it was in Guatemala, but it was also virtual. For you to participate in that virtual conference, it was only $15 for those 2 days because you are considered a SELA member too. Because if we're a SELA member, you're a SELA member. So please keep that in mind. That's important for you to know that we're building and forging relationships like that to help you further your marketing plans and things that you're doing. We also have MOUs, that's Memorandums of Understanding. These are relationships that we have built between Florida Realtors and other associations in other countries. There is no cost. We're not paying anything. They're not paying anything. What we've said is, hey, let's connect. Let's help each other so we can help each other's membership to grow and prosper and build those referral services. The last one we signed was with the Bahamas this year during the August global meeting, if you participated. And we're very excited because, as you know, NAR will have the President's Circle in the Bahamas. We also have been invited to speak in the Bahamas, so we will be going to that. I don't have a date yet, but I will let everybody know. So that's the latest. We've also renewed with the Canadian Real Estate Association this year as well. But we have many other. We have Canada, we have France, we have the UK, we have Spain, we have Belgium, we have Panama, we have Turkey, and we have Dubai. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about Dubai in just a few minutes about the trade mission we're planning for next year, and also some other key opportunities you may want to participate in and take advantage of. So those are very important for us. We don't want to have it be cookie cutter. So every one of those contracts or relationships or agreements, whatever you want to call them, are different. No two are alike, because it may be, for instance, the one with CREA says, and with TREB, it may say, we want to be part of Realtor Quest with you. And you can then in return, when Florida has their August convention and expo, be in our booth. And we did that this year. In fact, Dubai was in our booth, and a developer from Dubai was also in our booth. And the Bahamas was coming as well, but unfortunately was not able to make it. But that is what we do. We say, you can come here to our expo, be in our booth for free, so that you can connect with our members one-on-one, get to know them, participate in our events so that there's more sharing. And then they in turn may select something that's in their country that we as Florida Realtors could benefit from and connect. So that's very, very important for you to know. The other thing I would like to know, and I say because I know that we can look this up and look that up, but if you speak a foreign language, it's important. And I'm going to tell you why. We did something this year unique. We selected a few folks that speak different languages, from Arabic to Italian, to French, to German, for a virtual trade expo that we participated in with Enterprise Florida, because we knew that the international marketplace would be participating. So I wanted to have on hand a list and a schedule of key members these are all volunteers, that could speak these certain languages and help out if we needed translation. Spanish, Portuguese, French, I could probably get by a little bit, but then when you get to Arabic and some of that, there's no way. So we had them, and I want to know, because if we have events that we're hosting, say Spain again. I want to know because I want to make sure that you get an opportunity to maybe be a host at the front door, or maybe it's on the chat, which is something I'm going to start doing. We will start doing, I should say, is on those chats when we have simultaneous translations. I'm going to have a couple of mods that will be monitoring the chat, but in the language that we feel people will be in. So if it's, for instance, Mexico, please let me know you speak Spanish. And you don't have to be 100, don't feel like, oh my God, but a little bit so that you can go on there and help them in that language and help them connect. I think that is so important. And I can't know every single person that speaks a foreign language. So please let me know if you have a unique language. And of course, we do use our NAR ambassadors from Florida. We use them as well for languages. So I didn't want you to think that we don't use that resource too, but I want to use you as a local so that when we are bringing people to you or you're participating in something, they're connecting with you so that you can make more connections. So please keep that in mind. And I mentioned the port, I mentioned the airport. I also want you to look at the neighborhoods. Is there a neighborhood or two that you really, really do a lot of business in? And you find yourself selling a lot of homes, you really know this neighborhood. I want you to go out and just drive it and write down, hey, this bakery is amazing. This auto shop is a great auto shop. You can get your keys made here. You can buy pool supplies here, whatever it may be. And I want you to make a list, and you're going to do it in a night. Just type it up, put it on nice paper, have that list as a resource for your clients, because what you will, I know you've already found this out, that your clients see you as a resource, not just for buying that home, but a resource to help them and their family connect. Maybe it's a specific club that they love to participate in, or a particular type of food. They want to make sure that they get to eat Spanish food, or maybe they like, Greek food or whatever it might be. And they can ask you, hey, do you have any contacts, or can you give me some ideas? Pick some of these top and work on that list so that you have it ready. But not only use that list for your clients, but I want you to use that list to also provide it back. Go back to that bakery, that auto parts store, and say, hey, you know what? I'm going to put you on this list. Would you mind if, I want you to know who I am. Here's my card. If you ever have a referral, please feel free to refer them to me. Also, I want to interview you. Can I do a brief little tape and you just talk about your shop? You can share those on social media. So that's something that can be done that's very, very exciting and unique to you. And I brought up your business cards, and I don't want to forget to mention this because this is one of my little pet peeves about business cards, is that I will get a business card, I will bring it home, and then guess what? I don't have a clue where you're from if I don't know the person. If I picked it up at a conference and I don't know the person personally, I may not know where they're from. Check your business card. Make sure your phone's on it. Make sure your email's on it, your website. And even if it's just a little blurb that says, serving this and this and this and part of Florida or whatever, because when you go to a conference or you go anywhere and you hand out that card, if they didn't write on it on the back, which many of us do, that's another trick that I use, is write on the back of the card where they're from, how I know them, that kind of thing. They're not going to know where you're from, and you're missing an opportunity. So keep that in mind. I think that's super, super important. Also in neighborhoods, there's lots of, it could be an apartment complex, it could be townhouses. They have newsletters. I want you to look for newsletters that you can put information on, key information. It could just be, if you need me as a resource to find out, come speak to your group, your association, or do this or that. Those are great ways to connect with those markets that maybe haven't purchased yet. They may have a social and need a guest speaker or someone to talk about. And the guest speaker could be talking about a particular country. Maybe you traveled somewhere and you have an amazing video that you want to share. Well, guess what? They may want to see that. So keep those kinds of things in mind. I have just a few minutes, so I am going to talk to you a little bit about what's to come in 2022 from your Florida Realtors Global Business. And what I'm talking about is overall Florida Realtors Global Business. And also we have the Florida Realtors Global Business Committee. And I want to bring that up because there is some confusion. And we have a global business committee at the state that you can apply for and participate in. And then we have your local that we want you to participate in and get involved in because it's so important. In my opinion, you need to be part of both. There's no charge for the state. And I don't, the local, they do so many amazing things and we team with you. So try to be part of both because you're going to benefit from both. So I know that on the chat, there's several of the global members that participate in both. So we want you to participate in both. If you missed the deadline this year and you did not apply for 2022, send me an email. If there are any openings that come up, I will tell you, we have a long list, but I think we're going to be able to accommodate many. So just send me an email. But I want to tell you some of the key events or some of the key inbound outbounds that we're looking at. The first one that I'm being asked about 24/7 is Dubai, who we do have an MOU relationship with. And we went to Dubai in 2019 and we took 325 of you with us. Well, we want to go again. It will not be the same exact trip. We're going to participate in the expo that they're having, the Big World Expo. We're also looking at, and I should know by next week, whether we're going to add Qatar to that too. The dates are March 18th through the 25th of 2022. Now we have the dates. We have not shared the criteria yet because we're waiting for a couple of things. One of the things is, will everyone have to be vaccinated to go? And that is something that the key leaders there are looking at. So we want to make sure when we provide you the rules, they're correct. The other is, what kind of criteria are we going to require? Do you have to be a global member? Do you have to, just be a Florida Realtor member, that kind of thing. So look at that. And once it's done, I'm going to post it on The Voice, which is how Florida Realtors connects with their global committees. But also I'm going to send it to your local associations and say, hey, this is the criteria. So everybody's going to know at the same time so you can get involved. I think the key criteria, honestly, are going to be the shots, whether you have to be vaccinated, and the other will be a cost. There's going to be a one-time cost charged by Dubai, not by us, but that will be inclusive. It's your hotel, it's your meals, it's your transportation. In other words, once you get there, everything is covered. So once we know the cost for that, we'll be able to say what that will be. And I don't think it's going to be a very high cost. I think it'll be very economical, but we decided that it needed to have some type of cost this time. So Dubai, March 18th through the 25th. Realtor Quest Toronto, we are so hoping to go back and bring all of you. We had so many associations and members ready to go. We had about 125 that wanted to go. It's May 18th through the 19th in Toronto. And we hope to have an entire street of Florida with different associations, the flamingo shirts, everything Florida. So we make a huge presence at Realtor Quest. We're excited and hope to be able to do that. The other is A Place in the Sun. That is in London. We have never participated in, well, I should say not never, because many years ago, my understanding is that we did, but we haven't in many years. So in the past 5 years, we haven't. So that's May 6th through the 8th. We are going to add a trade mission to that. And we're working on that. It'll probably be a day or 2 days added. And we want to make sure it does not conflict with NAR's legislative. So London, we're going to A Place in the Sun. We will have a booth. We will, some associations have asked if they can be part of our booth. And I said, yes, there will probably be a small minimal cost to be part of our booth and give out things. And then we're going to tie a actual trade mission inbound in England or outbound, however you want to call it. And what I've asked them to do is I said, I don't want this to be just a, let's go see the the palace and let's go this and that. I want actual activity where we connect with other realtors because I want you to come back with some referral contacts. So this is going to be a working trade mission. So that's what I'm working on for that. And then last but not least is MIPIM, which is in France. And that is March 15th through the 18th. So if you heard those dates, you heard Dubai is March 18th through the 25th. So yes, we are leaving France and heading straight to Dubai. It was actually the only time that worked to go to Dubai. And we also realized we're halfway there. So why not just build those two together? Yes, it's going to be hard. Yes, it'll be a long time gone from our friends and family, but it ties in nicely. You will also see from your Florida Realtors Global Business working on and keeping my fingers crossed because I have something really exciting that I want to try that we're creating that we want to do that's going to focus on different markets in Florida. So I'll be sharing that soon. Look for more activities via Zoom and then whenever possible in person. This year, we're going for our 5th Platinum Global Award with NAR. Fingers crossed we get it. We do. The next year is our year to go for Diamond. So we are going to really, really work hard and build even more programs. Also, NAR is going to be here in Florida next year. So guess what? We have to knock it out of the ballpark and let them know that Florida is amazing. That's who they need to connect with when they want to do referrals and send more opportunities to Florida. So I'm going to stop. We just have 1 or 2 little minutes. If you have something you'd like to ask, please put it in the chat and I'll see it. I'll try to answer it. If not, my email is mariag@floridarealtors.org. And I have so enjoyed connecting with you. I always love this. I spoke earlier to Tiffany and I said, I love this group. I love connecting with your realtors. They are so fun. And the Sarasota Manatee area, I love it. It's beautiful. And I hope I can come. Let's see. Can you repeat who all the associates? Absolutely. Let me see if I can find my list. And if not by memory, Dubai, Spain, France, Belgium, Turkey, the UK, Panama, missing somebody. Let me look. I haven't got them all memorized. Sorry. It's just the more we add, Bahamas. I think I already said Spain. I think I got them all. And if not, I can send an email with all of them. And also note, we get asked a lot to do MOUs, memorandums of understanding. We don't do them all because if it doesn't make sense to do them for our members, why do them? I don't want a piece of paper to hang on our wall that says we're partners with this country or that country. That really defeats the purpose. Some do it just for, hey, we've got this, and that doesn't make sense to me. We really, really want to make sure. Oh, that's fabulous. Panama and the Bahamas, 2 great friends. 2, when we have MOUs. So maybe next year we maybe we do a joint virtual trade mission. I don't know, just a thought. But since we also have MOUs with Panama and the Bahamas. But like I said, see, this makes sense. You guys, that's a market you love. That's a market we love. I don't want, and it does not mean, I should clarify, does not mean that we will not work with a country that we do not have an MOU. That couldn't be further from the truth. We work with everybody and even do trade missions. But it just means that to put it in writing and say, hey, we're going to really concentrate. I want it to be countries that are going to really serve you well. So thank you so much. I've loved spending time with you. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Just send me an email and I'm happy to connect. If you're going to the C5 Summit in New York, stop by our booth. We will definitely have a booth and we will welcome you. We also have a private reception at Scarpetta's on the 27th from 3 to 5 that all Team Florida is welcome to join. We will have Secretary of Commerce Jamal Saul joining us. We also have Florida Power and Light and Florida CCIM. And then we have invited 12, we have already RSVP'd top site consultants, brokers, and economic development influencers to connect with us and get to know us. So hopefully they'll refer more business to Florida. So thank you. I really appreciate it. De nada, Carla and team. Thank you.
Thank you, Maria.
Thank you.